Why medieval peasants actually slept better than you think. Boring history. For sleep. Part 2. The forgotten rhythm of first sleep and second sleep. The little village has now surrendered completely to the night. The final glow from the western horizon disappeared long ago, leaving only the gentle silver light of the moon. Above the rooftops, countless stars shimmer across the clear medieval sky. There are no city lights to compete with them, no distant highways humming through the darkness, only the quiet countryside breathing at its own unhurried pace. The fields that only hours ago echoed with the sounds of work now rest peacefully beneath a blanket of cool mist. Inside every cottage, families lie asleep beside slowly fading fires. Or at least, that is what we might imagine. Yet for many medieval people, the night unfolded in a way that feels surprisingly unfamiliar to us today. Historians have uncovered evidence suggesting that many Europeans did not sleep through the entire night without waking. Instead, sleep arrived in 2 gentle chapters. The first was simply called the first sleep. It usually began not long after sunset. Without electric lights, people naturally became sleepy far earlier than most of us do today. After an evening meal shared with family, many villagers would climb into bed shortly after darkness settled over the land. The body welcomed sleep almost immediately. Hours of walking, hours of farming, hours of lifting, digging, harvesting, chopping wood, or caring for animals had left muscles pleasantly tired. Unlike many modern workers whose minds remain busy long after work ends, medieval labor often exhausted the body more than the mind. As a result, sleep arrived gently, deeply, naturally. Imagine yourself lying beneath a thick wool blanket. Outside, the wind whispers softly across the thatched roof. Rain begins to fall. Tiny droplets tap gently against the straw overhead. The fire in the hearth crackles quietly as glowing embers settle lower and lower. Your breathing slows. Your thoughts fade. And soon, you are asleep. Several peaceful hours pass. The moon climbs higher into the night sky. The village remains silent. Then something unexpected happens, without alarm, without panic, without any feeling that something is wrong. You slowly open your eyes. You are awake, not fully awake, simply aware. The room is still dark. The fire has almost gone out. Its remaining coals glow softly like tiny stars resting upon the earth. Beside you, someone shifts beneath a blanket before becoming still once again. Outside, an owl calls somewhere beyond the fields. This quiet period during the middle of the night was so ordinary that many medieval writers hardly bothered explaining it. Everyone simply understood. It was part of sleeping. Some people remained in bed. Others quietly stood to add another piece of wood to the fire. A husband and wife might whisper together about tomorrow's work. A mother could gently comfort a restless child. Some people prayed. Others simply sat for a few peaceful moments, watching the dying flames dance across the walls. There was no urgency, no pressure, no fear that waking meant something had gone wrong. Eventually, sleep returned naturally. This became what many historical texts described as the second sleep. And so the night continued. Today, many sleep researchers find this idea fascinating. Some scientists believe that human beings may have naturally followed this pattern for thousands of years, before electricity changed our relationship with darkness. When modern volunteers spend several weeks living without artificial light, some begin developing 2 separate sleeping periods remarkably similar to those described in medieval records. It is a gentle reminder that our ancestors experienced the night differently from us. Darkness lasted much longer. Winter evenings seemed endless. The body adapted accordingly. Of course, not every person followed exactly the same routine. Life has always been wonderfully varied. Some slept more deeply, some woke earlier, others later. But what surprises historians is how often this two-part sleep appears across old books and documents. It was not considered unusual. It was simply life. As you continue standing quietly within the medieval cottage, your eyes slowly adjust to the darkness. You notice details hidden during the day. Bundles of herbs hang from wooden beams overhead. A clay pot rests beside the fireplace. Simple woven baskets stand neatly against the wall, waiting for tomorrow's harvest. Nothing inside the room is extravagant. Everything serves a purpose. Life here values usefulness more than luxury. Perhaps that simplicity itself brings us certain peace. There are few possessions to worry about, few distractions demanding attention. The world feels smaller, quieter, slower. Outside, the village remains asleep. A gentle breeze carries the scent of damp earth through tiny openings around the wooden door. Beyond the cottages lie open fields where sheep rest together beneath the stars. Somewhere farther away, a fox quietly crosses a narrow path before disappearing into the forest. Nature continues its silent work while humans dream. For medieval villagers, nights were not empty hours waiting to be rushed through. They belonged to the natural world. The moon guided travelers. The stars marked the seasons. The changing wind hinted at tomorrow's weather. Even silence had its own comforting rhythm. Slowly, your eyelids begin growing heavy once again. The brief waking period comes to its peaceful end. You settle beneath the blanket. The warmth from the remaining embers gently reaches across the room. Outside, the rain has stopped. The wind has become softer now. Your breathing grows slower. One deep breath, then another. Without effort, without counting, without trying. Sleep quietly returns. The second sleep carries you peacefully toward dawn. Soon the eastern horizon will begin glowing with the faintest shade of blue. Birds will greet another morning. Farmers will once again step into their fields. Bread ovens will be lit. Children will awaken. The village will slowly come alive. But that moment has not arrived yet. For now, the countryside belongs entirely to the night. The stars continue their endless journey overhead. The cottages remain peaceful beneath their thatched roofs, and the quiet rhythm of medieval sleep continues exactly as it has for generations. Take another slow breath. Allow the stillness around you to settle gently into your own thoughts. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, only the calm silence of history, and the comforting promise that morning will arrive in its own time.